So then it becomes exposed a little bit. You can see it now. Scrape on this side. And then I'm going to cut. And then I'm going to wiggle my two fingers. Right, cut on this side. Wiggle my two fingers and then go up into the center where that wishbone, stops, and wiggle it. And then take it out. Okay, the next thing is to French it, or the wings. So I do it sort of in one motion. So I come down and try and flip up the cartilage, and that cartilage lives right there. And if I miss a little bit, I can come back and get it. Okay, so then it's the legs. So we want to keep the skin on the breast. So we go close to the legs, and then we pop the joints. Right, so we make sure that joint is popped on both sides. Then I flip up the skin, and there's that bone, and I want to harvest as much meat off of the leg, so I go close to the bone and I flip it up. See that bone? I come back to the joint, I stop and pull, and then I get that oyster. Okay, so then that gets cut off. Same thing here. I flip this skin up, feel for that bone there, go close to the bone. Right, and then I flip it up, and I just come back to the joint, stop, and pull, and I get that oyster to come. There's other ways to take the oyster. You might have learned a different way in meat fab. But that's the way I do it, and I'm generally pretty successful with it. So then, with my bigger knife, I come back, and I go through the bones. I'm going to take that out. Now, what we have to do is we have to take this skin off. Okay? They're going to want to see that we skin this. Right? Because chicken stock does not, have fat, or shouldn't have fat. But basically, they want to see you skin it. Now, last year, what did they say about our chicken? Remember Mickey? Remember that little short guy?
No, we need to break up the bone.
Well, what else did he say?
Well, no, I did. He said a little bit of meat is okay on it because we need it.
He said that we need to scrape this with a spoon. It's not really. That's what he said. I go, really? He said we need to get all this meat off with a spoon. I thought it was crazy. But you know what? He's going to be here again this year. So this meat would be used for a mousseline or something. I mean, I don't know if we do it, but that's what he said. And I vividly remember that. We do cut it up. And now we deal with the, so I make a little cut there. We take out the, this bone here. The keel bone. Okay, that comes out. Again, that goes there. And then we cut it in half. Okay, make sure that we trim it a little bit, excess. Excess. Okay, and then we make a cut here. Right, that allows for some of the blood to come out and allows for that joint to get cooked. Okay, same thing here. And now we've got to cut this before we saute it. Okay, so those are the two pieces. Same thing, kind of a long cut. I guess this way is better. And then we deal with these legs. So this fat joint is where we're going to find the bone, but we need to cut this off. And then we cut it right at the joint. Okay, and so this needs to come off. Sorry, this knuckle here. And actually, if we can cut this knuckle off too, that would be good too. Okay, if there's excess skin. So that's one. Now this has to come off too, this knuckle in there. So that comes off. And then, you know, this will naturally sort of French itself. But what we have to do is we have to come in and take these tendons. We do that? So with pliers, I don't have my pliers here, but we have to get in here and get these tendons out. Right, so we've got to get in there and pull each one of these tendons out.
I grabbed them as paper towels today.
Yeah, well, however you do it. I mean, I would do my pliers, but I just get in there and get as many of those tendons out as you can.
Do you want to leave the top of the bone like that? You don't have to like cut it or...
I don't think. I mean, I personally think it Frenches itself. If you want to go deeper into it and cut around it, you know, like this, I don't think it's the worst thing.
Well, it's not necessary. It's fine at the same time.
I think it cleans it up a bit. You know, it cleans it up a bit, but you know, it might even be better. Then you can expose these tendons more. You know. So we got to get all the tendons out, or as many as you can. And so that's the same thing here. Okay, and then work on the tendons.